G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Enno here from Fantasy Take TV. Today I'll be taking you through my Champions League fantasy team for Matchday 1, they call it. So game week, Matchday, similar thing but with UCL. I'll try and explain it quickly. Look, there is a rules page on the website. When you're making your team, probably paste it to check through it a little bit. I'm not going to explain everything, but obviously unlimited transfers before it starts. But during the group stage, which there are 6 match days of, you get 2 transfers per match day. Once it gets to the knockouts, you get basically a fresh wild card. And then, as you can see in the table there, you sort of get those number of transfers between first leg, second leg, then quarterfinals, first leg, second leg, and so on and so forth. And you get to own more players from those teams later on. So, right now it's 3 during the group stage, and it's 4. Then I think it's 5 for the final. So, basically, read the rules. It's similar to FPL in a sense where most of the scoring's the same. You get an extra point for a goal outside the box. You get an extra point for every 3 ball recoveries. If you win a penalty, you still get the points even if the guy doesn't score it, which is different in FPL. They've got to score it to get the assist. And then bonus points, there isn't really anything. There's just one man of the match each game who gets the 3. And I think that's just decided by some random bloke. So, check the rest of the rules. That's the main one I wanted to point out. And then the other one would be the subs, if I can bring that up, where midweek of a match day, all the fixtures are split over 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and between the Wednesday and the Thursday, that dead period, you can make subs. So your players on the bench, the 3 of them, you can actually sub on, and the goalkeeper, if you want to say someone that's blanked, bring on someone that's playing the next day, and hopefully they score points and sort of increases your upside. But don't what that locks in, by the way. If you make a sub and hit confirm, you can't change your mind as well. So do make sure, that you're certain of it, and you can do that with the captain too. First day captain don't like the score or they blank, whatever, roll over to the second day and pick someone else, and you can do that. So you sort of get 2 hits at it, kind of like in stop that camera shaking, kind of like in Supercoach, I guess, with the the VC. But we'll get into my team quickly. Not an expert, I'll put that out there. I've obviously had to do some research to see who is options from other teams and leagues we don't watch. But I think the main thing with this is you want to, obviously, it's like FPL. You want to attack the good teams against the poor teams, and it's a bit easier to do it in this since there's a lot more chips and ways you can change your team. Obviously FPL, you look further forward, and this is a tournament, so it's very short term, and there's not as many fixtures and weeks, so you can sort of play to that more easily. Other thing I should mention are the 2 chips, where wildcard is one. You get one of those during the group stage, and as I said, you get a free one at the start of the knockout stage. That's it. And then there's a limitless chip, which you get one of during the group stage, and it's basically a free hit but no budget, so you can just have everyone in the team from the highest price to the lowest price, whatever you want. Load up on all the good players. Obviously they don't always score well, but for the most part you want as many of them as you can against good fixtures and whatnot. So reading a few things, and I haven't done too much research, I'll be honest, but the plan is for most people to treat the first week as a free hit. So essentially I'm treating this as a 1-week team. Week 2, limitless. PSG have Maccabi, who are it's basically best versus the worst, almost in the Champions League. So you can have Mbappe, Neymar, you can go Messi, you can go all 3 if you really wanted to, but you can have them, whereas you probably can't in the normal salary cap. And then match day 3, wild card out of that, and then sort of build your team or pick your team then for the last 3 or 4 match days. So that's the plan, I guess, that people are doing early on. You don't have to follow that. You can come up with something else. Maybe pick a team for the first 2 weeks, wild card out of that, use a limitless later on. But one thing that is you got to think of, these big teams, once they have won their first 2 or 3, which you probably expect them to, they'll start to rest in the later fixtures when they have, top spot locked up in their group, or, they may not play the big boys in the last 1 or 2 fixtures. So if you're thinking, they've got a really good fixture in match day 6 and they play a really, Barca play whatever, they probably won't play their big boys if they're locked top of the group, which would probably be most likely. My team. So I've gone for 2 Barca attackers, Rafinha and Lewandowski. I mean, Lew has always been a Champions League just cert in this format. He's always
scored unbelievably for Bayern, and obviously now he finds himself at Barca, and they have Plazen. I don't know how to exactly pronounce it, but they're probably the bottom 2 or 3 teams in the whole Champions League. They get them at home. You expect them to punish them, and I've gone Rafinha, as obviously he's left the Prem, so get to own him again. And then with the last spot, it's not set for me yet. Obviously, I only got till tonight, but between him, Benzema, and then probably a Neymar as well, who you can save $1 million on because they're all about 11 mil, and then Neymar's 10. Benzema again, probably one of the best Champions League picks, probably was last year, but Haaland, we've just seen what he can do, and Sevilla haven't been too great to start their season, and Real get Celtic. So both away, but my thinking and reasoning is I can get Rodrigo in the midfield for $8 million, who is, he plays in the front 3 for Real, but he's probably the third as far as goal involvements between, Benzema, Vinicius, and then Rodrigo. But Haaland's the front focal point for City, and their mids are more expensive than what Rodrigo is. So to get, I think Phil Foden's 8.5 makes sense, but I'm not certain he starts in the Champions League. It's hard to know. I know Rodrigo starts. And then De Bruyne is 10, even Mahrez is 10, I think, as well. So I get some more money. I can cover both teams. Steven Bergwijn, I think he started really well back at Ajax. Plays in their front 3, Rangers at home. That's a nice fixture. Marco Reus, involved in most of Dortmund's goals, has been for years. Gets Copenhagen at home as well. Mario, had to do some little bit of research here, but Benfica, shout out to my mate Ficker, me and Ben, and I'm Ben, he's Ficker. They're our second team. We sort of half follow them, but João Mario is on pens for them, plays in their front 3 or 4, either as a left attacking mid, right attacking mid. Takes the penalties, and he's scored, I think, a penalty in like the last 2 or 3 games in the league. So, it doesn't say that it's hard to predict penalties, but he's $6 million and a nice cheap player with Maccabi. So, really good matchup as well. Guerrero, 4.5 defender for Dortmund with a nice fixture. Akanji is I've gone for someone $5 million. There's so many options. You can go Pavard at Bayern. You can go Ramos at PSG. There's a lot of really good options, but I think City, just a really solid defence, always have been. I know Akanji would probably be will be if he plays first minutes for City, but they've just got such a good defence. They control the ball. They just don't give up many chances. I think it's a really good chance at a clean sheet. You could go Ake if you think he starts for a bit cheaper. And then Chilwell, I think, is just a great attacking defender for Chelsea with a nice matchup against Zagreb. Got the Benfica goalkeeper in goal as well. I'm not going to say his name, my man, but again, the Maccabi fixture at home looks really nice for a clean sheet. You could go a defender like they have Otamendi as well. You could go, not much attacking threat. I mean, from corners maybe, but he should be looking good for a clean sheet. And then with the keeper, I think I've just gone to $4 million just to save as much cash as possible. You could go 2 and try and get a clean sheet. If your first guy doesn't get a clean, sub on the second. But I think the upside's sort of capped there, and I don't really see the point in spending more money. Reinildo is starting, I think, at fullback for Atletico at the moment. Renan Lotti's gone. He hasn't started the last 1 or 2, so that still might be a position where I change to maybe like a Nuno Tavares at Marseille. Could even switch to an Otamendi and have my third Benfica player. Pedro Gonçalves, don't know a lot about this guy, but plays at Sporting. They've got Frankfurt, who have started very terribly in their league. That is away from home, but he's been involved in quite a few goals to start their season over in Portugal. And then Christian Romero, home to Marseille. He gets a lot of ball recoveries. I looked at those stats, which you get every 3 an extra point for. I think I mentioned earlier. So centre-backs and CDMs sort of become a little bit more relevant, not obviously as relevant as attackers and attacking defenders and strikers, because, they score the goals and whatnot, but they do get a bit of help with the point system as well. So I'll go over to a quick look at just the fixture difficulty. And look, I did say the strategy for so far is to treat week 1 as a free hit. Matchday 2, we load up on, so I'll actually look, Matchday 2, you can go Porto at home to Bruges, you can go, so Inter Milan, we've got Plaza in week 2, you load up probably on them, AC Milan against Zagreb at home, and then the big one, I guess, is PSG. I mean, the big one is just PSG at home away to Maccabi, sorry, and then they play them again in week 4, so Benfica as well in between, like, it's a nice little fixture run there. And then your wild card game week 3 and sort of, change to some players like Leipzig, probably some Bayern Munich players here. They play Plazen back-to-back, so your wild card, load up on them. Liverpool as well, Rangers back-to-back. So that's kind of the play where you just use the first 2 weeks as a free hit. Obviously, your first one's within the salary cap, you're limited. And then week 2, play the limitless chip where you can go for absolutely everyone and really get the big boys at PSG that cost a lot against Maccabi. That's pretty much it. I'll probably go over to my team and just quickly see if I can explain the subsystem where, so Haaland, you want to look at the dates. You want to make sure that your players that play on the 7th, for instance, the first day are all on field, and then have 3 of your players on the second day on the bench, but more the lesser ones that you maybe will sub on, maybe not. Say all my defenders get a clean sheet, I probably just won't sub on whoever my cheap defender is or whatever, and just leave them all on. Whereas I've got Rafinha and Lewandowski on the second day, but I'm one to play them no matter what anyway. So have the players on your bench that you think may come on, may not, depending what happens. And then say Rodrigo blanks, I can just go Pedro on, sub Rodrigo off, hit confirm, and then Rodrigo's, say blanks and gets 2 points, and then I can hopefully get more with Pedro, and you sort of hope from there. But as I said, make sure you're setting what you want to do, because once you do it, you can't reverse it. So same with captains. Say Haaland doesn't score well, Lever always looks like a guaranteed captain this week, and then you do the switch over, and then obviously hit save, and again, just make sure you're set on that, because you can't change it. So last thing I guess I'll quickly look at is leagues. There's, what have I got here? That's here, FTTV league. I'll probably put it in the description as well, but the code I don't have off the top here actually. So forget me, I'll put it in the description or in the comment, pin the comment, and join it up, and we'll see how we go. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.